What's up, everybody? What's up, world? I'm just here with my wife, Kara. We're taking a walk around the neighborhood this morning, and we're just talking. We might start a new series called Walk with Wite Collar. And for those that don't know, Wite Collar is a mobile app community that we created a couple years ago. It's a growing community where we connect 18 to 24-year-olds with skills builders, is what we like to call them, or some may refer to them as mentors, whatever. We connect them to skills builders, someone that can guide them on their path, guide them on their way.
Teach them a skill set.
Yeah, teach them a skill set.
How to monetize that skill set. Be an accountability coach. Make sure they do what they say they're going to do or should do.
That's important. And we connect them, and they can, get together on the app, have virtual mentorship, or they can just get matched with each other and go off the app and do their own thing. But we were just talking this morning, just walking, and we were wondering, if you were 18 to 24 years old right now, what would you do? Would you go to college? If you're already in college, would you go to grad school? Would you get into the trades, or would you go into the military? I think they each got their pros and cons, but everyone is different and might choose one over the other. And we were just wondering, what would you choose? Which would you choose, Kara?
Right now, I would go with trades because trades are making a comeback, especially like anything like plumbing, engineering, electrical engineering, welding, because people are not going into them. It's a very much of a high demand. AI can't replace you, right? They don't have robots that can do those jobs.
True.
They're highly specialized, and they pay well. People don't realize how well these jobs pay without you having to go the route of secondary education and higher education, which we all know is, several hundred thousands of dollars now, maybe 100 to 200 at the least. And I mean, unless you're graduating into a occupation or a job that is going to, or career that's going to allow you to make that much starting out, you're not going to recoup. It's going to take you several years to recoup your investment, maybe more than that, 20, 25 years. So you can't dilly-dally in college. Like, you can't dilly-dally before college. And you most certainly cannot dilly-dally after, once you get into college.
Right.
So you have to have a plan, and you may have to go with something that you're not really passionate about, but that makes the money. And then once you build your financial resources, you can go into the job that you love and be able to make the sacrifices because you have a nest egg already. But to just go into something you love and then turn around, it doesn't make any sort of profit, is just, or not to be certain right now about what you're doing. You have to be certain.
And just to highlight that point about getting into the trades, just yesterday, I was talking to my neighbor, and I was telling him what we were doing with Wite Collar, and he was like, "Oh man, I could use your help, man." He said he's working with a city to improve their sewer systems, and it's not the city of Durham where we live, but he didn't mention the city. He just said it's a pretty big city, and he said they're at kind of a standstill because there's a huge shortage of welders and electricians that they need. So he said, if you know someone in that age bracket that you're talking about, 18 to 24 years old, that's kind of good with their hands and want to get into the trades and, got a curiosity about, systems engineering and things like that, please, send them my way. He said he'd be willing to put money behind them. I don't know what he meant by that, but I'm assuming he meant get them pay for their training or certification, whatever, because he said that's how desperate they are. They need people in the trades. And he said send them his way. and he'll plug them in. He'll put them in contact with the right people, but they have to be local. We live in the Raleigh-Durham area, so if any of you in the Raleigh-Durham area that's in that age range, 18 to 24,
or you have a child or a
right,
grandchild
or nephew, whatever,
right, niece, nephew, connect with us. But yeah, that's the GOAT right now. I would say college, yes, if you know exactly what you want to do.
Gotta have a plan.
And the occupation is going to yield the return that you need to recoup what you've invested.
AKA medical field.
Yeah. If it's not, and you're not sure what you want to do, then you need to go the trade route or even the military route. Let's talk about the military and those options.
Right.
You know, CJ, what do you have to say about the military?
I think when we were growing up, military wasn't a very appealing option. Well, at least in my opinion. I think the people that really went to the military back when I was that age were people that didn't have the ambition to, you know, be an entrepreneur or didn't see themselves going to college, so they felt military was the only option. Because if you didn't pick one of the three, people would look at you a certain way, like you're, I hate to say it, but they'll look at you like you're a loser or you're not going to get far in life. So people usually took the military route back then for those reasons. But nowadays, I think military is attractive because people know that working a 9 to 5 ain't going to get you but so far in life unless you're making, you know, crazy money in your job. Right. But the most attractive thing to me is you can retire early. You get in the military right after high school. You're about, 18, I would say. And you go straight into the military. You can technically retire at 38.
Right. The only drawback,
put in your 20 years. Yeah. And you can retire. And then you can start a second career. So you got that military pension coming in at 38. You start a new career, and you might have, you know, attained education that the military paid for over the years, so you can go into that field, start a second career, and you have 2 paychecks coming in. So
I know a lot of people that did that.
Right.
I would say the only drawbacks is, you know, active duty, you know, having to, you know, potentially be out there on the front lines.
Of course.
But
once you're in the military, they train you for that, and you might go into it a little afraid of that, but once you're in the military and you get trained, some of them look forward to that day to go into battle.
Yeah,
so.
But the risk is death. But,
right.
You know.
That's true.
I mean, so there's definitely occupational hazards. But, you know, yeah, I mean, if your plan is to, you know, not be working until you're 67, because, you know, they pushed back the retirement age. So it went from 62 to 67. And most people are dying in their 70s, so you're not really giving yourself enough time to enjoy the fruits of your retirement, but the government doesn't care. But anyway, if you're looking to retire early, that's a great avenue. The military is a great option if you want to have your life back at 40, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I per se, because I actually am pursuing a higher education, and so I have real lived experience now, having had all this kind of taken care of for me when I was younger by my parents, you know, getting me the financial resources and stuff I needed. Now having to go back to school for a third time, I'm seeing, you know, I mean, I'm pricing everything out, right? Like, okay, I'm only going to make this amount of money. I got to find a program that isn't going to leave me in so much debt that I can't recoup my investment. So I look at it as a business decision, you know? And when I'm shopping around at different programs, mind you, I already got accepted to one, but I might not be going to that one. But I think the way I think is the way a lot of other younger folks need to think. Like, if the starting salary is $50,000, let's say that. If the starting salary, say social work, it's like $50,000 or $40,000. Does this really make sense for me to go and get a master's degree in this and spend 100, 200K, and then only come out making 50,000.
Right.
You know, I mean, I get it. We all want those higher degrees. We want the paper we could put on in the plaque, on the wall,
the letters behind
and the
your
letter
name.
of accomplishment. I mean, and the feeling of accomplishment. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be cute when these creditors start calling you.
Right.
And student loans, where's the money? Where's our money?
Right.
And they don't give you long after you graduate before they start harassing you.
Yeah, I never cared about promotions, higher titles. As long as I get more money, a raise, I'm good, because with that higher title comes more responsibility. They think they own you more. Sometimes you got to take your work home. And it's not worth that, what, 10, maybe if you're lucky, $15,000 raise that comes with the job title. So keep the title, give me a raise, and I'm good, because you may not notice, but I'm trying to get rid of you before you get rid of me. It's a race to who lets go of one or the other first. So speaking of that, I'm home this week because I'm on between jobs. So I got a new position with, well, I won't say where, but it came with a much higher salary. So I'm taking this week off to recharge my battery before I start my new job. But back to our discussion. We talked about 3 avenues, but we didn't mention the 4th, which is entrepreneurship. Starting your own business. There's pros and cons with that also. The biggest pro to me is once you get good at what you're doing and put in that 10,000 hours at that skill set, or whatever you're trying to, whatever you're in business for, you get good at it. The income is unlimited. There's no ceiling over your head. And the cons, of course, is most businesses fail. You really learn through the school of hard knocks, and it's really about perseverance, really, because you're gonna take a lot of L's, you're gonna take a lot of setbacks, and you gotta, withstand that rain. You gotta push through and keep going. You gotta keep your eyes on the prize, and don't stop until you make it.
And another option that goes under that same umbrella in that bucket is mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
When you're a business owner, you have to be receiving at some point in time, if not ongoing, mentorship. And I see a lot of mentors and coaches out there that preaching getting mentorship and getting coaching, but are not doing the same thing, are not executing what they teach. Because I feel like mentors and coaches also need it. Like, learning is an ongoing process. It's not a one and done. I mean, you have to have a level of people skills to be a mentor too. It's not just about what you know. It's also about how you handle people. And you got to handle each person differently. And so if you're going to tout, get mentorship, get coaching, and trying to sell your coaching program to someone, you also need to be looking at what kind of, am I practicing what I preach, or am I just trying to get the money, right? But anyway, that's neither here or there. But it's back to mentorship is a great supplemental option. When I say supplemental, you should know that doesn't mean it's not a catch-all for secondary education or higher education. It is, okay, I don't really know what I want to do. I kind of know, maybe. So there's a lot of options. You might be in the bucket of you really don't know what you want to do.
My dog went crazy.
Second one is you kind of know what you're going to want to do, but you're not sure. And mentorship, there's a dog. Them dogs there.
Dog.
Up.
Yeah, he ain't happy about something. He arguing with his owner.
Let me go.
Like he run the show.
Oh, yeah, let them go.
Oh, wow. Look at this mother effer. Excuse me.
Oh, Lord. Oh.
She's not happy. Not very happy this morning.
She's sassy.
Oh, she wants to run.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or I'll run out, down, around that little loop past the clubhouse.
She said, "What are you doing?"
She don't want to walk. She wants to run.
It's too hot for that, yeah.
All right, you guys have a good one.
So for those of you that are kind of not sure about what you want to do and you want to kind of pick someone's brain with the options you are considering, right, then consider mentorship. It is, to me, a low-risk, high-reward situation. I have received mentorship. We both have received mentorship. I mean, it gave us so much
Clarity.
clarity, and it made us look at ourselves a little bit more on a personal level, our vision for this business. I don't think we've had, maybe outside of one situation, had mentorship that was a total wash. There was something, even a small nugget that we got. Maybe the nugget wasn't big enough for the price, but we got something out of it. And so for folks that are like, I don't want to go and spend and get all these, either, get student loans, financial aid, grants, all this, because I can tell you finding a grant for schooling is extremely hard. It's like finding a needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not how it used to be. They took away Pell Grants, so, it's just not a lot of options out there. And so, if schooling isn't, for you right now, because financially, because it's not for you right now, then consider mentorship. There are grants out there for mentorship and scholarships for mentorship, and it's a smaller price point.
And I think, I mentioned this yesterday, I think on that journey of, becoming a successful business owner or entrepreneur, a big part of that is personal development.
Yeah.
And mentorship helps a lot with that. You have to become a better person to reach that next level that you want to get to. You have to work on yourself. You have to work on your speech. You have to work on your parents. You have to get your financial life in order. Because whatever kind of mess you got in your personal life is going to carry over into your business life. So you got to get everything in order. You got to set that strong foundation. So when you reach that success as an entrepreneur or a business owner, you stay there. You're not going to be easy to, crumble under the pressures of handling success and haters and family members with their hands out. So you got to be prepared for all of that.
Absolutely.
And so you got to have patience before you reach whatever, success you're trying to reach. You got to have patience because the Lord is ordering your steps, in my opinion. He's making sure things that are in your way as roadblocks is teaching you lessons that you need to learn. So be patient, trust the process, and just keep improving yourself. Keep learning, keep growing. And when you get there, you got that armor of protection around you that you're going to be unstoppable. And people are going to see it when you walk in the room, feel it. So it's a process, and just trust that process. And I'm talking to myself also when I say these things. But you're going to get there, and I'm going to get there. So I'll see you at the top.
Yeah, you have to be resourceful. And you have to have perseverance. It is not a straight line to success. It isn't. If you think it is, then don't get into business. It is a lot of twists and turns and highs and lows, extreme highs and extreme lows, and maybe a little bit in between some, some, we call it leveling off in between, but there are a lot of hills and valleys, and like you said, like personal development is where the core of it all.
That's why when you go to Invest Fest and you see these people on the stage talking, they look like perfect. They talk perfect. They look perfect. They dress perfect because they worked on themselves. And now they reach that pinnacle, and that's what you see on that stage. Right.
So keep at it. Like we said, we'll try to do more of these Walk with White Collars and go live, and hopefully got something out of it. Today we are also doing a mini career fair from 1:30 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this is a great way for you to engage in career exploration or business exploration. We'll have some business owners on there or self-employed people on there, and just meet and greet with some folks. It's a 30-minute meeting.
Right.
So you could do it during your lunch break. Just pop your camera on, and then close your laptop when you're done.
Right,
So,
right. And
all
we might start doing these walks every Sunday. We don't know. We're gonna see if the schedule allows it. But we're on our street right now. We're about to be home, so it's nice chatting with you guys. And we'll catch you next time. Any final words, Kara?
No, peace out. See you today. Sign up on Luma for the meeting, for the career fair. Bye.
All right. How do you stop this thing? Or finish?